Hey everybody, it's Tafony here once again. Hope you're doing well today. I'm rambling about the DivKid and Vostok Instruments. I don't even think it's written on the panel. It is the Trace. It sounds like this. Okay, so kick drums out, data running, trace back in, mix it in now, and I'm going to take out my pitch and my CV, and we're going to start real simple with this one. So what is it? 4 HP scanning crossfader, technically a mono VCA. And the way I'm hoping you can see in the corner here, maybe I'll just back this out a hair so you can see, it is in the patch you just listened to a sort of oscillator exciter, I think is sort of the primary use, at least that comes to my mind. And like always, modular is modular itself. The whole point is to create something special with some unique patching of your own. Maybe it's not the entire point, but I'm never going to cover anything is the point. What I'm going to show you right now, though, is the Mind Phaser oscillator outputs. And in the patch that you just heard, I was taking everything is out of the carrier oscillator and coming in here. So first output is the sine, I believe. I need to duck down to see it is the triangle wave. So that's an input 1. And you'll see, so crossfading VCA, which includes a fader on the panel. And so that reason you hear 1 into the 1 input. Just a triangle. It's pretty bassy, so let's bring that up. But it can work as a standard VCA by crossfading to an empty patch, right? So if we bring it back down, and I don't really see using this as a standard VCA, but it's there. I really like the Vostok stuff, so I have the series. That's what I would use down the chain for, but we're going to talk about the oscillator exciter capabilities of it. So on the Mind Phaser, same oscillator, has different waveform outputs. This one's for the square, and we'll patch square into 4. So being that it's on the opposite end of the scan, you don't hear it yet, but if you scan over, there's going to be input 2 has nothing, input 3 has nothing, but whoa, in input 4 we have our square wave. Now, one thing I will say that I didn't really see mentioned elsewhere is that when you're crossfading, maybe this is just common knowledge, but when you're crossfading different waveforms, the square, for example, is way louder or way harsher, might make it seem like amplitude, way harsher than the sine wave. Or if I bring in my ramp wave, which I have malted here for a reason I'll get into in a moment, we'll patch that into input 2. That ramp wave is a lot louder than those triangles again. So for the patch, and we'll make sure our attenuator's all the way off, I have malted that ramp wave into a supersaw. Maybe let's reverse that for fun. And then we'll take our supersaw output, and there is some fun sound design differences to be had based on where you arrange them in the quote-unquote ladder of the scanner. But here now we have first one being that triangle. Second one being the super saw. Third one being that ramp wave. Sorry, I misspoke before. I said that was the saw. That was a ramp before. That was a saw before. Now it's a ramp. Up to 4, we have that square. And again, there's some amplitude differences in these to be aware of. But what I think you're really here for, or what I am anyway, is you can do like wavetable scanning with an analog oscillator, which is really cool in my mind, because I love super saws. There's one in there. I love wavetables, and wavetable scanning is what makes wavetables for me. So this is all going through the Pony VCF, which is a ladder filter that sounds like this. And that is a VCA down the line, because this is always outputting something when you have them all patched. Again, you can use it as like a linear VCA if you empty one of the inputs and use it that way, but I don't think that's an interesting use for it. I'm going to use the VCA on my Pony VCF. And open that up. Let's get some more resonance, get this a little more squelchy, which is fun. And here we've turned an analog oscillator, and I know it's a complex oscillator. I'm not using any of the wavefolding. I'm just using direct outputs because that is the analog oscillator of my system. Squelch it less, bring it up. And let's send it an LFO, which you did hear in the intro jam at first, but we're going to start off with that. So scan is the modulation input. These right angle cables are fighting for space. Let's move that up here, and in it goes. We have, so you can either have it crossfade for you up or down. So it matters where your fader starts, and it matters how much modulation you send. So if I send negative voltage, I'm already at the bottom, nothing happens. If I turn that back down and switch it over to positive, and then we bring it in, it's going to be doing the crossfading for me. And that's an LFO that's going pretty fast. It's just sine wave, so maybe let's slow it down to just be a little slower. And I love this. Let's, again, careful of the volume jumps. And for that reason, I think we want to use an envelope, because I do love scanning through these wave shapes, but that square wave is going to be pretty noisy in the scheme of things. So we can either modulate super fast so that that's not super audible, and hold on a moment, let's get 4 times and make it negative maybe? And you can get really crazy. Get it back into LFO territory. Maybe let's take that square wave out. Nope, that wasn't our square. Nope, oops, sorry. I mean, you could use this to like mix some noise into. I don't have a noise source in the rack at the moment. But what if we brought a different sign in that was completely out of tune? Like I always say, consider your own possibilities. That's fun. Maybe I need to sync these though. So there's intervals in there if I'm in sync mode, sending it. Now what if we send it let's change the pitch just so you don't get super bored of what's going on. What if we send it a sequence again? And I'll send it pitch. That's right. Sending it pitch. We'll pitch that down, I think. And now our VCA is going. And what if we use the same envelope that's driving our VCA to CV scan through this one? So in that goes, and I think this is one of my favorite uses for it, because that's probably too much. Yes. for analog oscillators. I love that. Reverb. And I recognize it's a little off. I would probably mult one of the same outputs, perhaps. Use a shift register or something to send it in. But I think this is a really fun way to do things. I want to, you know what? The last video was really stressful, and I think we're going to have some fun. Because if we're not having fun, what are we doing this for? So what I'm going to do is hopefully allow you to see that I'll take an output at the moment. That's going to be the ramp wave, and put it in here. And this will give us two outputs, which are subdivision out and so we're folding. Let's go a bit more basic wave shape. Let's fold a triangle wave. That sounds really nice. Go down to first input, no, second input, where this is coming out of, and then we'll use, that was the subdivision out. What if we use a regular out? Bring in some more subdivision. So I gotta find a nice sweet spot in the inject. Yes. Then we'll CV scan through here, and this is more what I'm talking about. So we got two coming out of there. Yeah, that's a better sound source, I reckon. So we got our triangles. You don't have a crazy square wave or something that's going to be super loud. Yes. I love how that sounds. Let's take the other oscillator because it's going to be slightly out of tune, which sounds nice to my ears. Let's bring my kick back in. And hopefully you can see on there, although, again, sorry, the module's really small, which is nice and compact, but makes it difficult to film. See it scanning through. If I start the different, maybe I'll start on the fourth input and then send negative voltage to scan this down for us. Yes. Sorry, this is a much nicer sound. You don't have amplitude jumps. It really gets into that wave folding territory. I'm just gonna mess with the fold processor for fun. Less resonance, open it way up. Low pass gate for fun. Actually, that is a nice combination of this super complex, rich waveform and then a nice low pass gate. Very West Coast, and I'm very into it. Yes, there we go. Let's see, I've lost my envelope to scan through, so manual scanning. And honestly, this is no scientific thing. This is no studio application. It's really satisfying to just check out the different waveforms as you scroll through. Well, let's send that LFO again now that our amplitude is more stable. Seems like our fourth input is a little quiet. Subdivision, which I like. Yeah. drums coming in. And yeah, that's the Trace. I think it's a really nice little tool. And if you want to excite some waveforms, it does just that. I'm Tafony. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all of that crap that Google, YouTube is always on me about doing. And I will talk to you in the next video. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.